the Hugel gardener, and I'm back in the garden continuing trimming. It takes me sometimes a couple days to trim and tie up because I have a lot of other things to go and do. I got a workload around the property, but the basic thing is I just got a lot of tomato plants and it takes a long time. So let's get right back at it. What I want to do is I want to trim a lot of the bottom growth off. Now when I take these and throw them in the walkway, later on I'll come back and I'll put them in a big bin and I'll dump them in my yard so they don't go to waste. The deer will come in and they will munch on them. And if I didn't have a deer-proof garden, they'd be in here munching on them. So I'd rather than be out there munching on them. So anyway, the first thing I want to do is I want to cut off all of the leaves that are coming out towards me. That's going to create airflow and give me a vision of the way that I want to go ahead and secure these up. I don't want to leave something like this on and tie it up if it's going to create a dense, thick spot that will eliminate the airflow. So I kind of look the plant over, but I always start at the bottom because on the bottom of the plant, all the way up to the trellis, I want no leaves except the stem that has some blossoms on it. See, this tomato is growing on in here, and these are pineapple, like the one down here. They're gonna get really big, and when they get really big, if you just take this and tape it up and go straight up on the outside, the weight of the tomato plants are gonna pull down and break the tape, because each tomato could be over a pound, and that will add up quick. So that's why you want to weave it. So let the vine and the trellis do the work and support. You do want a little bit of tape in the beginning to hold it, but the tape's not what holds the tomatoes, the weight of the tomatoes. It's the weaving that you do. Okay, it may look like I'm taking a lot off, but I'm not. It's just so I can weave it and give it airflow. You're going to have new branches and vines shooting out continuously till the tomato plant gets up to the top, and then you want to top it. Okay. Alright, so that cleared this up enough. Now I could take this, one more right over here. Alright, so now I could take this and I could go ahead and start weaving it. So I'm going to put this in there. I'm going to take this one and put it in there. And since I don't want it to come back this way, I'm just going to take a little bit of ribbon right here just to hold it. Same thing here. I want that to go through. It came out that way, in this way, now back out that way. Okay, and something like this, I'll put this one down under and this one through. And even that one needs a little piece of ribbon right there. Okay, so that's it for this one right here. I'm going to work my way down, and then I have to go on the other side and do that side too. I don't go this side, that side, this side, that side. It's ridiculous. I'm just going to do this going all the way down. Okay, so I'm in front of this plant now. It's got tomatoes on it, and I want to give it a good look over. Well, right over here, I'm going to cut that and that, but I'm not going to cut this off because there's some blossoms on it, and that's probably going to be tomato. So what I want to do is I want to come up here and trim a little bit of this. And down here, I got a bunch of growth coming in. I don't want it, and I got some weeds on the bottom. Okay, and I took care of that. Now I'm going to come up here, cut a little bit of this off. It's doing no good. This is not doing any good right there, so I'm going to cut it. Got some nice tomatoes coming in. Okay, this one will have to be tied up here a little bit too. When I'm not on video, I just go down this whole side and that whole side, and I don't tie anything up. Then I come back around and I'll go down the rows and tie it up. It goes quicker, but for the video, I want to show you what I'm doing. See this clump of, this is a clump, and it's blocking airflow, so I just want to come in right over here and get what I want out. Of course, I got to go on the other side and get some, but for right now, it's okay to reach through. But I try to get whatever I could get from this side at first. Makes it a little bit easier. Nice tomatoes coming in right there. Now it seems like once a week you come out here, and maybe even twice a week, and you have to go over this, because once you start see it coming and falling down, the weight of the fruit will collapse it, and you'll get a little break, and then you got a good possibility of not being able to straighten it out because there'll be a break in the vine. So you want to avoid it and secure them going all the way up, if at all possible. Okay, this is all looking good. Let me finish those up right there. We'll get to the back side. I'll shut off the video. I'll go ahead and finish what I could do for today, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, another plant. Let's tackle it. Now this is first thing in the morning. Everything's all wet, but it's cooler out, and I prefer doing it first thing in the morning. Then I could go do some tractor stuff when it's hotter out, and I don't have to deal with this in here. Once again, if you see a weed down the bottom, take it out. On something like this coming out, if you don't see any fruit on it, you could give it a cut. This is a green giant. It's going to be a big plant. A lot of good sized tomatoes. So what I want to do with this, okay, remove those, and now that you remove those, you're stuck with this. What do you want to do with it? That's a lot of different vines coming out over here. That's a sucker, that's a sucker, that's a leaf. So you don't want all this to go crazy. So over here, there's no blossoms yet. What I'm gonna do right here is I'm gonna cut this off. I don't really need it. And now this is gonna be the part right here that I'll tuck under. Well, I'll cut that right there. There's some blossoms, so I saved it, but I'll tuck this under. And I'll secure that in a little bit, and that will go ahead and grow up. I wish I didn't break that, but hey, it happens. Don't get upset about it. Of course, it happens on video. And I leave it in the video because I want you to learn that everybody's going to have mistakes. So why cut it out of the video? I want you to see what takes place. Okay, this one's coming up nice. I got some tomatoes coming in on it. I got a sucker there and a sucker there. So what I'm going to want to do with this, I'm going to try, I can see by the height, I'll get those suckers going under. That's going to be new growth. And this one, I want it to go through just like this, and that'll hold it up. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and hold this one up right now. So what that did, these two suckers are going to grow out that way, and this part coming up to the top over here, I'm going to pull it back. So I just weaved it. Once again, these are green giants. They get really big, really heavy. And so I went in here, came out here, I went in there, and I came out here. That's going to give it good support for the weight of these tomatoes. Okay. All right, now I'll look this one over. I got blossoms coming in, so I'm gonna leave this all intact like that. And I'm gonna separate this. I'm gonna take this one and put it there. And I'm gonna take this one, put it under, and this one through here. So if you can see what I did, I got this going this way and this way. So I'll secure this one right over here. Now this one came up. I got one going out here which will grow up, and one there. That will give it some good sturdiness. Okay, let's see what we got over here. This is all still in the video. All right, so what do I want to do with this? Okay, so this one right here is looking good. I'm going to go ahead and tuck it through right here and give that a little tie. All right, so we're actually on to the next plant. This one, I actually got to get to the other side over here. Okay, this plant here is looking good. It V'd out, going up nicely. So let's get this one right over here. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Got to clean it up a little bit. Now this one coming out, I don't really need it, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one off. I took this whole section off because of the way it was growing. Don't need it. Okay, down below, I'm pulling those suckers off. I don't want anything below. Okay, thinning it out a little. Alright, so let's see what we got here. This is looking good. I'm just going to take this one, go real careful, and tuck it under. I'm going to take this right here and tuck it in and give it a little tape right here. And this one here, just so it doesn't blow back, I'll go ahead and secure it right here. Okay, this one looks pretty good just like it is. I'll come over here and do the end one. Okay, so let's get this one right in here, and then I'll move to the other side. Okay, this one right over here, I'll let that go a little more and I'll tuck it in. Okay, so this whole side here is done. Let's go on to that side. Okay, so you can kind of see what I done by thinning it out right over here. Now, as you can see, I really need to do this side, so let me get in here and tackle it. Alright, so what do I want to do? This is hanging, so I want to lift it up and look at it and cut some of this off right here. See, when they hang, they start coming back up like that. It creates a problem. So, just come in and thin it out a little bit. Okay, so this one here was hanging and then this was coming up, so I thinned it out. And if it will let me, I'm going to go ahead and take this and put it in here. And I'm going to take this one and put it in here. And then I'm going to tie it up right over here, and that will start growing up. There's a lot of blossoms on this one. Okay, and this one right here, I want to take it and push it through. Right there. Give that a little tape. Okay, so I want to finish this right here. So let's see what we got. Same thing with this one. This one here is going down and back up. So I want to hold it up and cut some of this growth off. And this is only a week. I was in here last week. This is growing fast right now. Nothing you could do about that except get in here and do your best you could. So now I'm going to take this, remove some of this. Okay, so this one I could do the same thing. I could take it up like this, and I could turn it. Yeah, that'll work. And this one could go in right there, like that. And that's where I'm going to hold it. Okay, so what do we got here? We got that plant coming this way, and I don't want it over here, so I'm going to back it out right there. Now, I backed it out, so this is hanging. There's tomatoes on it. I'm going to cut some of these lower ones off right here. All right. Now I want to try to tie this up, so I'm going to see where it could go through. It looks like it could go through nicely right there. Okay, and this one right here, I want to go ahead and get this to come up and go through. Let's see, I could get that going through too, right here. Okay. Okay, that's all looking good right now. Now I have this one down the end. Right here. Okay, that's all looking good. Now this one, get that off. Okay, I'll just take this and I'll put it right there. That's good for now, just like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and tackle this one over here. All right, so what's this doing? Let me get some of these up here. All right, get that off. Now, this one's just hanging right here. So let's see what we got. Got some blossoms there, so I want it. Let me just cut off some of these down here. All right, so what I'm gonna have to do on this one is I want it to come down and around and in, so I'll push it through right here, just like that. Right there, and now I want it to come up here and come back this way, and I'll tie it up right here. All right, now what do we got here? We got another long one happening. Okay, don't need that. Don't need that. And don't need that. So now what I'm gonna do is there's blossoms on this. I want to tuck it in. I'm gonna eye it up and I can see where it's gonna fit best. So this one should be able to go under without breaking, hopefully. Okay, that one's under there. And this one right here should be able to go into this one right there, like that. And the blossoms are now on that side. Now I'm going to tie this one up right here, secure it. And if you can see right here is where a branch I cut off. I always try to put the tape under so it doesn't slide down. That's if you can. Now this branch right over here is doing absolutely no good. No blossoms, it's just hanging there. So I'm gonna cut it. Okay, that's all looking good. Okay, this is the back side of this plant that's looking good. This one could start going in that way. I don't even have to tape it now. And this one, all right, let me cut this off and that off. Okay, so this one right here, I'm gonna do this. See that I pulled it and I'm going this way. I'm gonna put this one in that way. And I'm gonna start this one over here. So now there's two sections, one here and here, that are going through. That's gonna help support the plant when those tomatoes put a lot of weight on it. Okay, now this one, okay, there's blossoms on it. So let me just do this. And now this one, I'm gonna have it shoot out that way and give it a little tie. Okay, now moving down, and I have to watch that I don't step on my other plants over here. So right over here, let's see what we got. I don't need that. I don't need these in there. Okay, so now I want to take this one, take this and tuck it in. I'm going to take this one and tuck it in right there. And I'm going to take this one right here and tuck it in too. Okay. Now I can cut that and that. Now this one right here, I could tape both of these up right here like that. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, now these are out that way. When they grow a little bit more, I'll tuck it back this way. So that leaves me with this one over here. Okay, right over here. So let's see what we got. Cut that off so I can see. Okay, let me get down here and see what we got. Okay, clean that up a little bit. I'm doing 2 plants at one time over here. Just easier. Okay, so take that off. Okay, so this is looking good. All right, so this one I could pull out, and this one I could move over. 2 different plants. They started going into each other, so I'm going to take this one, put it through here and here, and give it a little tie. Cut this branch off, and that one. All right, so I'm going to give this a tie right over here like this. And this one a little tie right there. Now these are coming up and it's not going over to the other plant. By the end of the season, I'll have some of these going to the other plants. Then it's hard to see what tomatoes they are. So try to tackle it now if you can. I'll cut that, and there's a sucker there already. So this one, I'm just going to take this, see if I can bend it down real gently and through. And I'm going to tie this one up right here like that. A lot of blossoms on that one. Okay, so now I got all this hanging down here. And let's see, this one right here is not doing anything. So I'm going to cut it. I don't need it. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it through right here like that. Going to tie this one up right under that branch that I cut. Right there like that. That will keep it from sliding down. Alright, so now I have these hanging. But let's see what we got up here first. Cut that off. Okay, I'm going to tuck this one in right here, if he'll let me. That looks good. Now I'm going to take this one, cut that off, and that off. Now I'm going to take this one and tuck it through as well, right there. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so I'm going to tie these up right here. And once again, these are going through. This is a big branch. They're big tomatoes. Okay, now this one. Oh, it's going to be hard to tuck through, but I think this will do it right here. And I'll bring this one up and through right over here like this. Cut that branch. I'm going to come up. And give this a tie. Okay, so this one I'm going to give a tie right here. There was a little kink in the stem, so I'm going to tie it there. And then this one here, I'm going to bring it up and I'm going to secure it right up over here loosely, because I got some blossoms right there and they're going to turn into big tomatoes and I don't want them crushed. So I'm just going to give this a loose tie. So this one's still got room in here because those blossoms are going to turn into big tomatoes. Alright, now I'm down the end of the bed over here. So what do we want to do? Let's clean it up a little bit. Okay, so I want this one to go in somehow, so I'm going to tuck it in right over here at the end and tie it up. And this one's going to come up and go through right there, so I'm just going to put that there for now and tie it. It's a thick branch, so I really can't go ahead and bend it, so I'll just get the contour going in now. Okay, let's take a look at it. Okay, so as you can see, I did the back side over here. See everything on the ground? Now the back side looks good. You can see the tomatoes in there, a lot of airflow, and it's weaved in nice. I weaved it in this way and back that way. Let's go ahead and look at the other side. And now over here, you can see I got some coming in like this. Once that grows a little bit more, I'm going to pull it up. I could probably do that right now. Okay, so this one and this one, I could probably do that. I'm going to go ahead and take this and tie it up right here for now. And that can go that way. So it came down, around, and back through. And this one, I'll start it going through that way, right there. Okay, I got there. And loosely, I'm going to put this around here just to hold it in place. Okay, so this back row is looking good. This one here could do something with, let that grow a little bit more, but it's looking good. All these, as soon as they grow a little bit more, I'll go ahead and put them up. But you get the general idea there. Now all this I'm going to pick up and put in a big bin. Okay, so this is one bed right here of tomatoes. You've seen what I go through. I try to do it twice a week, sometimes once a week. It gets overgrown when it's in the growing stage. Once they reach the top, I'm going to top them. They're going to have a lot of tomatoes on them. So let me go ahead and finish some other stuff, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Back at you. Okay, so I finally finished trimming and tying up all my tomato plants. So let's see what they look like. Okay, so these are all tied up. Got a good amount of tomatoes coming in on them. I created a lot of airflow, but yet still left everything on the vine so they could go ahead and grow and pollinate. Same thing over here, created airflow. There's plenty of tomatoes coming in. The season is still young. Okay, over here, same thing, created airflow. Got some nice tomatoes coming in. Over here, same thing, created airflow. Have a lot of tomatoes coming in. Everything's looking good. Left all the blossoms on. Okay, over here, same thing. Tied them all up, trimmed them up, created airflow. Plenty of tomatoes on them. Over here, these two, I took a clipping and just stuck them in the ground. And they look like they're starting to grow roots and grow, because they were laying down flat. Now they perked up. Okay, these over here are doing good. Got some tomatoes on them. Got blossoms going, plenty of airflow. Over here, went ahead and trimmed them up. Got plenty of tomatoes on them. Got plenty of airflow. These are all good producers, by the way. Okay, same thing over here. Trimmed them up, tied them up, plenty of airflow, plenty of tomatoes. Okay, over here, trimmed them up, tied them up, plenty of airflow, plenty of tomatoes coming in. They're all looking good. Some are in nice bunches. Okay, same thing over here. Trimmed them on up, tied them up. Got plenty of airflow. Got some tomatoes on the vines. Look at all these growing in. Boy, don't they look nice. Okay, going over here, my last tomato row. You can kind of see that I tied them all up, trimmed them up, plenty of airflow. Okay, so it took me a good part of the day yesterday and today. I'm glad it's overcast, a little breezy, feels good out. I went ahead and got them all tied up. By next week, it's not going to look like I even did anything. They'll be overgrown and I got to tackle it again. Okay, so this is my garden. Got plenty of blossoms over here. Got some nice cucumbers coming in. This trellis over here is Kajari melon. And you can see there's a lot of Kajari on there. Pretty much it's loaded up everywhere you look. Kajari melon. I'm in the trimming up stage. And then of course I got peppers down each row over here. Right over here, same thing. I got some melons going up and over. Right over here I got some squash going up and over. And I go ahead and protect them once they get a certain size. But it did make it up and over. I got a bird's nest coming in over here. Okay, over here I got some squash coming in. And over here I got another arch trellis. And it's getting to be loaded with beans. Hey, so okay, this is Sam, the Frugal Hugel gardener. This is how I go ahead and trim up and tie up my tomato plants. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something. Show me your love. Give me a like. Come on over to our Facebook group, Sunshine Harvest Edibles Garden Group, or just come on over to my Facebook page, the Frugal Hugel Gardener. In either case, we'll talk to you later.